The Texas Chain Saw Massacre video game is seriously the best asymmetrical horror game I've ever played. I've played a lot of good, and a lot of what I'd considered disappointing. But this title feels, at least to me, the perfect grindhousey love child of all the games from the past. That's not to say there isn't problems. With games like these, you will no doubt experience balancing issues and other issues similar to that background, but I, as a fan of this genre of gaming, those are minor hiccups that the devs will kink out along the way. Today, I'm going to be giving my full review of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, the game. I'm going to be discussing the story, the gameplay, the meta, and details sprinkled all around it, so if you haven't already, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. Let's start with the synopsis of this game and how important it is to the franchise as a whole. If you didn't know this game is actually confirmed as an official prequel to the first film, and that's really cool. A lot of players don't really know this, and that's completely okay, but it's the little things that Gunn puts into their games like this that make it so wild. Some players probably don't even realize there is a story to this game. If you just downloaded this and played for the first time, you'd assume it's just a Friday the 13th game scenario where you are the survivor and you must escape the killers. But it's much more grounded than that, and I want to read the backstory of it all. You are playing as the cast, Connie, Sunny, Julie, Leland, and Anna, our final girl of a sorts. How did they get caught by the Slaughter family, you ask? It all started with Anna's sister, Maria Flores, who was taking a college road trip across Texas to do photography. As a photographer myself, I respect it, and I'm sure she had a blast until she didn't have a blast, if you know where I'm getting at. Her car was found abandoned with no signs of foul play, and Anna takes the challenge up for herself and her group of friends to find Maria. Unfortunately for them, they had no idea what they were getting themselves into. The story is simple as a whole, but paints a bloody good picture on what's going on. I love that. Each game we play are basic what-if scenarios to show what we as the player would do if we were trapped. It can be taken very seriously, and at times not so much, but instead provides over-the-top dumb fun. Yes, you are in a sorts playing the same game over and over again, but you are not really doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Every helpful item for the victim is spread out at random, and not a single player is doing the exact same thing, which adds to the replayability. Let's carry on to the gameplay. The game is chaotically simple. You are either the victim or the family, and whatever side you choose have unique objectives to accomplish in order to complete the match. I will break down each side of the playing field, starting with the victims. As a victim, your main priority is to get out alive, and completing that goal is completely up to you. You can do that alone or as a team, and there are several obstacles you all will have to face to get out. The basement, the actual exits, and of course, the family. Starting out in the basement can be a very chaotic trip of terror. As soon as you break out of your bonds, you have to get to work before Leatherface catches you in the act. You'll then have to unlock the metal doors to go up higher, but be warned, you will wake Grandpa and alert the rest of the family. Hitting this next phase is where it gets really interesting. There are several ways of escaping in each map, but let's look at the family house. There's the generator exit at the end of the driveway, the car battery exit in the back of the house, the valve exit on the side, and the fuse exit, which is located back in the basement. As I'm writing this down, it does sound easily done, but it is no easy task. If you are up against a strong family, you're going to have a difficult time getting free from any of these locations, and that's the fun of it. That's the part that makes it scary. It's important to be fully tuned in with the character you are playing to complete these tasks. My main as of now is Connie, and that's for the sheer pleasure of stealth. I love being in the shadows and unpacking everything, and she's the best for that. She's not strong, so if you get found, it's best to disappear as quickly as possible and heal if you were hit. Conveniently enough, there are tools that will help us escape, and thank the video game gods for that. On the family side, you have the choice to play as either Leatherface, the cook, hitchhiker, Johnny, or Sissy, who I'd consider the baddest of them all. She is nasty with her attacks, and I'm here for it. It does piss me off as a victim, but she's a great teammate to have. The objectives for the family are self-explanatory as well. Keep the victims from escaping and finish them off. You'll have to keep the generator and car battery exits activated, keep up with the fuse box and valve exits from opening, and a big thing that's easy to forget is collecting blood for Grandpa. I know everyone will be hungry to get the victims, but if you see a bucket of blood ready to be collected, Get it and feed the old man. He's over 100 years old for God's sake, and the faster he maxes out, the better. Once he's fully leveled up, there's nowhere the victims can hide without being seen, and it's basically the endgame for them. Having this game in a 3 versus 4 scenario is awesome. At first thought, I wondered how balanced it would be. Would the victims really have a shot? I remember hearing how the victims couldn't actually kill the family, so I had worries it would be one-sided. But it's not when it comes to this form of gameplay anyways. I couldn't see this working any other way. Each combination of characters on each side provide a fairly balanced experience for each game, and that's incredible at launch. I mean, there have been games that I've played where the victims have wiped the floor with the family. It's been insane. The maps in this game starting out are so much fun and excellently crafted. Starting out with 3 maps, the family house, slaughterhouse, and the gas station. Each map is a large, dense, nightmare-fueled funhouse for you to get lost in. It's terrifying, but also beautiful. As a horror fan, I am beyond impressed with the amount of detail that was put into the maps, especially the family house and the gas station. I mean, the slaughterhouse is just a big wide open space to get lost in, but going into the gas station like the barbecue area and exploring the family house, I think that is just a fun treat for any horror fan. So that would be enough reason to play just there. The meta in the game was something I could see causing problems at launch, but I honestly didn't see any major problems with the hours I've spent playing Texas Chain Saw. Other than Sissy being like completely over the top OP once she's maxed out, but that's besides the point. There's nothing in the meta that aggravates me enough to the point where I think it clearly needs to be fixed. Each ability and perk feels useful and can make major differences to your preferred character's playstyle. And to get these perks and abilities, you do have to get ability points by leveling. The level cap for TCM is 99. In the beginning, you might find leveling fairly easy, but it is not. If you're wanting to grind up to the top as quickly as possible, you're looking at playing around 5 really good matches before you level up once. That can feel like a grind for sure, but it does reward you for the hard work. You do get ability points to put into your character of your choosing, and you get a ton of unlockables such as behind the scenes images of the film and concept art for the game as well. Now, watching this review, you're going to assume I'm just a fanboy that can't find faults, but that's wrong. I do have some problems with the game, and I think some changes could really enhance the game as a whole. It's nothing major, but one thing for sure needs updated is the party system. Having a code-based party system for cross-platform can be a major headache, and we desperately need some sort of friend list system put in place to make this easier. These games thrive on meeting new people, and there's no way to play with other platformed people if you can't add them to a friend list or something. Another issue I have is not having some sort of in-game comm system. There are going to be times where people refuse to communicate with a mic, and that's okay. Having an in-game chat system will help tremendously. You can easily add a wheel with emotes and voice lines to better understand what that player's doing in the game. It's not necessarily mandatory, but I think it will help exponentially. I also think we could benefit from saving perks. One thing I find a little irritating is having to respec your character every time you want to try a different perk. I can see how that can add creativity to the build, but I just find it would be easier having your perks saved and ready to go. It saves the hassle of having to redo basically everything. And my final issue are the cheaters. I've seen some crazy stuff, and yes, there are times where I see it and laugh, but it can definitely be a pain in the ass, and some of the hackers I've seen in this game are insane. They have to find a way to stop this as soon as possible. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre, the game, is the next best thing in the asymmetrical horror genre. It's a love letter to the horror fans, and one of the best online games I've played in years. Friday the 13th walked, so Texas Chain Saw Massacre could run. Gun Interactive have created yet another game that builds friendships, community, and some would say family to the forefront, and there is nothing better than that. I have to grade this an A+. Are there glitches? Yes. Are there hackers and balancing issues? Yes. But given the small problems that I know Gun will fix given this game has only been out for a couple of weeks, I can't deny the amount of fun I've had. And it's been the most fun I've had in games for a long time. I'm happy with playing every character on each side. I'm happy with winning and losing. It doesn't matter to me. Like Wes Keltner said in the past, these games aren't about being competitive. Yes, it is competitive, but it's about chilling with your friends and having a good time exploring this hellish what-if scenario in one of our favorite horror films. Have you played TCM? Let me know what you love most about the game down in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. And be aware that we do have memberships for as low as $3.99 a month, where you will receive movie reviews, non-horror game reviews, and so much more. And until next time, take it easy, bubs.